Welcome back to today's Daily Report, broadcasting from El Dorado Royal Spa Resort by Carisma. Mexico News Network, your #1 source of positive information about Mexico, is always bringing you the latest in the world of travel. So let's continue with more stories. Ever wondered what Pueblo Mágico means or what it stands for? Well, I was wondering the exact question, and now I can tell you what I've discovered on these magical towns and why are they given this recognition. Join me as I tell you about Mexico's Pueblos Mágicos. The Ministry of Tourism in Mexico created this initiative to highlight certain attributes of specific towns that deserve to be recognized. Recognized on what, you may ask? Well, they must meet certain requirements like being a town of at least 20,000 citizens, have a great historical or cultural value, preserve traditions and symbolic and beautiful architecture. Some are eligible due to their natural treasures, ecosystems, or even legends and myths that continue to cause awe among villagers. These towns have treasured their richness, their passion for everyday life, smells and colors that reach your soul. These incredible spots are places where it seems as if time didn't pass by, where tradition is at the tip of your fingers, and all of this will be very well kept in your memory forever. They are very picturesque towns. They are most likely to have narrow and paved streets, interesting buildings, and their inhabitants have extraordinarily rooted traditions and customs, from the culinary field, where they are still using the same ingredients and techniques as their grandmothers, to the religious scenes. They still perform rituals like their ancestors did. These are only some charming details that are waiting for you to discover and be amazed with all of these well-kept treasures in these magical towns. They have opened up their doors to us and letting us to see for ourselves all the magic that they have to offer. And moving along to more magical towns in Mexico, we come across Calvillo, a true delight. Simply arriving into this Pueblo Mágico means you can taste the sweet and the fresh scent of the guava fields. As soon as you get off your transportation, you can see all the candy stalls and the street vendors selling the most exquisite delights. And it's all produced in the town. Everything is delicious and practically impossible for you not to like it. Guava products are all around and in different presentations. Reason why is better known as world's capital of guava. The production of this is so high that it is the most important in Mexico. Like any other destination, the town offers guided tours to the fields and haciendas located all around the place. It is a fascinating tour filled with guava sand. You can also visit a store called Fruitland, place where you can try out, see, and participate in the elaboration of assorted candies. But it is not all about sugar and guava in Calvillo. There is also a cathedral with the largest dome in Latin America. Take some time to wander around the streets and the market among the candy stalls and beautiful stores where you can find clothes, tablecloths, and linens embellishment with detailed embroidery, also famous from Calvillo. As Pueblo Mágico, it also features adventure activities. Not too far from downtown Calvillo, there is an impressive dam surrounded by vegetation where it is said to be the perfect place to do kayak and become one with nature. The sweet taste of Calvillo will be preserved forever in your memory, so take a trip down to Aguascalientes and try it out for yourself. And continuing with our adventure across Aguascalientes, did you know Aguascalientes is the 4th smallest state in Mexico? Despite its size, it is a charming and wonderful place, even if it doesn't have exuberant beaches or impressive skyscrapers. Aguascalientes provides more a unique experience, colonial buildings, a journey through time, and the most exquisite culinary tours. One of its greatest features is the bullfighting tradition, an event that fills the streets and bullring of Aguascalientes, which also happens to be hosting venue of one of Mexico's oldest tradition, La Feria Nacional de San Marcos, the San Marcos National Fair. With 186 years of tradition, it is the oldest and most important fair in Mexico. Every year, hundreds of people travel from all over the country to enjoy different cultural shows. Aguascalientes has been the cradle of several cultural movements. One of the renowned citizens is the artist José Guadalupe Posada, artist who created the famous image of the Catrina, one of Mexico's most representative icons. November is time to celebrate Dia de Muertos, or the Day of the Dead, celebration of those who have left this world. It is a celebration that represents a fusion of colonial and pre-Hispanic cultures. A perfect example of this celebration is the Festival of Calaveras, Skulls Festival. In Aguascalientes here, the Catrina comes to life as a lead in the Mexican culture-filled celebration. Aguascalientes has a colonial charm that takes over your heart, and the local city tram still tours around to make you to the most iconic places in town. Now, a little southeast from Aguascalientes, we come across Querétaro, a beautiful place that still conserves a colonial charm which is simply indescribable. It is a blend of old and new styles. It is a state filled with history which is seen in every corner of every hacienda in Querétaro. These huge and beautiful constructions were made during the Spanish colonization in Mexico and designed and created by the nobility of the time. Behind every wall of each hacienda, there is a fascinating story or legend which is dying to be told. The hacienda's route is a fascinating trip that takes you around the most beautiful constructions of the state. Many of these are very well preserved and with time have turned into hotels. They're also a great place for special events, particularly for garden events. In addition, you can always visit and admire these great and impressive constructions. Most of the time, these haciendas are surrounded by extensive gardens or growing areas. Some even have their own vineyard, which makes it the perfect place to discover food and meander around it, or even on horseback. Stay with us, we'll be right back with more positive information of Mexico after these few messages.